so I'm not going to beat around it. I've been struggling recently. Firstly, I feel pretty burnt out from working, and secondly, I've been struggling to get into a good routine. At the start of lockdown, it was going well. I was waking up at 9 AM, I was enjoying creating videos. It's great, and I was getting pretty good sleep. But most of all, I was optimistic. I'm a very optimistic and positive person, and I believe that anything is possible. I was feeling my natural, happy self. But recently, as the lockdown has continued in full force,
that means the government is once again instructing you to stay at home.
I found myself losing grips with all routine as the days become more monotonously boring, dull, and depressing. I've started to try different hobbies, such as painting and rapping.
Wait, pause.
This is my painting, called Fuck. It looks terrifying, but neither have gone that well. However, I'm not one to dwell in sadness. I don't want this to continue. I want this to end. I want to get into a good routine, and I want to get out of this burnout. I needed some help, and I needed a perspective shift. So I called up 2 people I know who I thought might be able to give me some good advice and insight in regard to the problems that I was currently facing. First up was my friend and fellow YouTuber, Max Rayzinger. When you've experienced burnout, because you journal a lot, and to get out of that burnout, what like specific things do you do if you've ever experienced that? So this question's on a presumption.
I mean, I definitely experienced that for sure. There have been periods of times where you just can't come up with the ideas, or you just don't feel like filming. And I'm very introverted by nature, and so filming is like a whole like ordeal. I'm like drained afterwards, and so there are times where it's just like I can't do this right now. Like I just can't. I sort of have to completely reset and rebalance, and I'll start with the basics, make sure I'm eating well, make sure I'm exercising, make sure I'm meditating, doing the cold showers, all like the basic things that are good for you. And usually when I'm working more and I'm getting to a point of like burnout, I'm sort of like pushing some of those things aside, like, oh, I have to edit, I won't do a cold shower. And I think you sort of get lazy, or what I've been able to identify with my journal and like writing through and trying to decode like why I'm burning out, it always comes back to sleep. For me personally, when I sleep well, my brain just like completely resets and has energy again. And then things that were like daunting, like filming or editing, where you're like, oh, that will take so much energy, my brain just feels light again. It's like, oh, I want to do that.
My chat with Max was useful, and he helped open my eyes to how much more I should really be doing to prevent myself from burning out in the future. However, I still had this feeling of low mood, and I wasn't sure why. So I decided to call up my therapist Mary to ask her for some advice. Unfortunately, and completely understandably, Mary didn't want our session to be recorded on camera, but she did give me some really good advice. It turns out that my feeling of demotivation was to do with control. Well, a lack of it, I should say.
You can go outside for only one form of exercise a day, alone or with members of your household.
See, in prisons, one of the biggest problems inmates face is low mood and depression. This is most often caused by a lack of control over their lives, their future, and their freedom.
Even if they've just been here a couple years, you can just see their mentality just go down. It's pretty rough.
It reminds me of the present. See, right now we are all kind of prisoners. We are all locked up inside our houses, just like an inmate is locked up in a prison.
I think segregation is like torture.
Most of us can't do the things we want to do, and I've certainly found it hard at times during this pandemic to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
The shutdown continues.
The future is uncertain, and for a lot of us it feels like we have no control.
So it could be extended.
Yes.
And it is this which was causing me to constantly fall back into a cycle of ruts. What I needed to do was take back control. So, taking back control. I have started to do it. A couple of days ago, I had to think to myself, and I thought, whilst, yes, unfortunately, I can't create the types of videos that I want to, I thought, surely there's something I can create. I'd quite like to just chat to some people who I find interesting, and then I'm gonna post them on my channel. Look, here's some questions I've got. Mindset, life is a game. What caused your mindset shift? Blah, blah, blah. So it's gonna be quite a deep podcast. It's gonna be called Creatorcast, and the first episode will be coming out in a week or two. To be honest, I haven't got all the answers figured out. I'm still trying to think of ways in which I can take back control in the current kind of climate we're in. I'm actually looking forward to the future, which I wasn't at the start of this pandemic. Luckily in the UK now, we've actually started to get a lockdown exit plan together.
On March the 29th, it's understood that groups of 6 or 2 households will be able to meet up.
So I can finally kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel. June the 21st is when everything's going to be lifted. We might actually be able to have a good summer. Let's. I tell you what, as soon as the pubs open, I'm going to get absolutely off my face. But something I have started to do to take back control is create like a plan for the next 4 weeks. I've actually kind of made my schedule busy now. Like, there we go. Oh! Edit Geromino, which is this video you're currently watching. Max Rayzinger coming on the podcast. Zach Olsop coming on the podcast. I'm just trying to get a plan together. But, yeah. I hope this video and story was somewhat interesting. The story's not really finished, but I end the story here feeling a lot more optimistic and happy, looking forward to the future than I did when I first started creating this video, which was about 4 or 3 weeks ago now. So, happy ending, somewhat, I guess. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you're new, and thank you.
Yeah, subscribe to Bonzi, subscribe to Bonzi. You see that button in the bottom right, just click it and you're OG. The most innovative content on your phone screen. You might have to pull it up and show it to your homies. Subscribe to Bonzi, subscribe to Bonzi.